Imagine having everything: money, mansions, cars, respect. But then one day, you find out that the people closest to you only love your wealth, not you. This is the story of Hassan, a powerful billionaire who gave up everything just to test his family. What his wife did will shock you. What his children said will make you cry. And how he came back will leave you speechless. Hassan was a wealthy man. In his city, everyone respected him. His house was like a palace. People bowed when he walked past. But at home, something didn't feel right. One afternoon, Hassan walked into the sitting room and saw something that stayed in his mind. His children were laughing, eating roasted meat and ice cream. His relatives were drinking juice and watching TV. His wife, Fatima, sat on the softest sofa, covered in gold jewelry. No one even greeted him properly. They were happy, but not because he was there. That night, Hassan sat alone in his room. Do they love me? Or just my money, he asked himself. The next day, he made a decision that would change everything. He called his trusted accountant, Ali. Transfer all my money into a private account, he said. Don't tell anyone, not even my wife. Ali was surprised, but obeyed. A few days later, Hassan called his whole family into the living room. He looked serious. I'm sorry, he said. I have lost all my businesses. We have no money. I must sell this house. We are moving to the village, to my late father's old house. It's all we have left. Silence. Then suddenly, laughter. Even his daughter laughed. His relatives whispered and shook their heads. But worst of all, his wife Fatima clapped her hands and mocked him. Look at you now. The rich man is now a beggar. You want me to live in a village with goats and dust? His heart broke. But one person stood tall, his son Yusuf, the eldest. I stand with you, father, Yusuf said. If the village is where we must go, then I'll go with you. That night, Hassan couldn't sleep. His wife mocked him so badly that he almost cried. Morning came. The family packed their bags. Fatima complained every second. The road was dusty, full of bumps. There was no AC, no soft seats, just old pickup trucks and sweat. After hours of travel, they reached the village. It was quiet. No city lights, no fancy shops, just trees, farms, and birds. They entered the compound Hassan built for his late parents. There were no gates, no tiles, no chandeliers. Just a small rusted gate with a compound full of red sand. Chickens ran around freely, goats bleated from the back, and an old well stood under a mango tree. As soon as Fatima stepped out of the car, she covered her nose. What is this smell? She shouted. It smells like cow urine and smoke. Their youngest son swatted a fly off his face and cried, I want to go home. Their daughter complained, There's no Wi-Fi, no AC, no mirrors in the bathroom. There was no fridge, no television. The toilet was a pit latrine behind the house. Water had to be fetched from the well using a rope and bucket. They cooked with firewood and washed clothes by hand in a basin. Hassan and Yusuf worked on the farm from morning till night. They cleared weeds, watered crops, and planted maize and beans. The sun burned their backs. Their hands grew rough. But inside the house, things were worse. Fatima refused to cook. I was not made to suffer like this, she snapped. The children started mocking their own father. One day, when Hassan returned home tired from the farm, his daughter threw a slipper at the wall and screamed, Because of you, I'm living like a bush girl. His younger son once threw a tin cup near his feet and said, We were rich before you ruined everything. Even Fatima, while sweeping the compound, hissed, You used to be respected. Now look at you, a farmer in the mud. At night, Hassan would lie on a thin mattress in the heat, listening to mosquitoes buzz around. He heard whispers from his wife and kids in the next room, complaining, laughing at him, blaming him for their downfall. Sometimes when he walked through the village, his wife didn't even greet him. His own daughter would pass him in the compound with her eyes rolled. Yet, through it all, Yusuf stayed strong. "Don't worry, father," he would say. "Hard days build strong people." One early morning, exactly 1 year and 6 days since they arrived at the village, Hassan stood at the edge of his farm. The crops were healthy. The land had multiplied in value. The trees he planted were bearing fruit. The village chief respected him. Local farmers now asked for his advice, but still his family was broken. His wife was gone. His daughter? Living in town with her boyfriend. His relatives had all vanished like dust. Hassan walked back to the house. He opened a wooden box hidden under his bed. Inside were 3 things: a document for the private account that still held all his wealth, a deed for a 100-acre land he secretly bought under Yusuf's name, and a letter from his father written long ago: "When life tests you, don't run, plant your feet." That day he called Ali, his accountant. "Ali," he said calmly, "it's time. Let's go full force." Ali came to the village in a 4x4 Jeep the next morning, along with 2 real estate developers and a small camera crew. People gathered, surprised. Within 1 week, bulldozers entered the village. Within 1 month, a brand new modern farm, irrigation systems, greenhouses, a poultry facility, and a food processing plant stood on the land. Then came trucks delivering solar panels, tractors, and a new pickup truck for Hassan. And one morning, when the sun was bright and the birds sang louder than usual, construction began on a small school and clinic on the land. News spread like wildfire. A local news station ran the headline: "Village farmer turns land into agricultural powerhouse." The same relatives who once mocked him now showed up in clean clothes, fake smiles, and forced hugs. His wife returned too. She wore a long black dress and tears in her eyes. "I was confused. I thought you were finished," she cried. Even his daughter came back carrying her bags. But Hassan had changed. He no longer lived to please. He no longer explained himself. He welcomed them, but not into his house. He gave them chairs in the shade, water to drink, and said, "I didn't lose everything. I found myself, and the only people who stayed through my pain will rise with me in joy." He then handed Yusuf a file. Yusuf opened it and gasped. Inside were ownership papers, naming him the CEO of the agricultural company they had built together. And so the man they once called broke became a legend, not just in his city, but across the region. He didn't come back with noise. He came back with results. And the same people who threw cups and insults now watched him on TV, clapping from the crowd,